Partiti, Prix du Conseil de Paris, 2400 metri da percorrere. Prime fasi di gara, il grigio Macht per un attimo alla corda in vantaggio, poi in linea esterna Pouchet in vantaggio, seconda posizione per Cyrus Desglais, poi vediamo all'interno ancora Scintillot, Macht al suo esterno, Cyrus Desglais alle spalle del battistrada Pouchet, poi ancora Macht numero 10 a precedere Scintillot e Chawardi adesso in quarta posizione alla corda a precedere lo stesso Scintillot, che rimane in quinta, al suo esterno Kurt Cannibal, via gli altri, chiusi da Not Just Swing numero 4 e compagno di Pouchet, che è il battistrada della corsa, 1350 metri circa alla conclusione. Pouchet sempre in leader su Cyrus Desglais, ancora il numero 10 di Macht, poi Chawardi che rimane alla corda, al suo esterno Kurt Cannibal, giubba rossa, all'interno di Kurt Cannibal Scintillot. Nulla muta, è buona l'andatura quella imposta dal battistrada Pouchet, sempre leader su Cyrus Desglais in seconda posizione, al suo esterno adesso si affaccia bene Macht, ancora alla corda rimane Chawardi a precedere Scintillot, via tutti gli altri, chiusi da De Boerberry. Viaggia bene ancora Pouchet in vantaggio, ai suoi fianchi adesso Macht, che ha completato la sua progressione e si porta sul battistrada. Poi in terza posizione il compagno di scuderia di Pouchet, Not Just Wing, sembra aver esaurito tutti gli argomenti. Intanto Pouchet che si fa stilare via da Macht, già richiesto un maggiore impegno, all'esterno giubba rossa è quella di Kurt Cannibal, tra i due prova ad intervenire Chawardi e Kurt Cannibal vanno alla caccia poi di Cyrus Desglais che passa all'interno, Cyrus Desglais nel tratto conclusivo si sta andando a staccare dalla compagnia, precisamente da Macht che termina secondo. Nulla da fare per il resto della compagnia, lo scatto all'interno è stato quello di Cyrus Desglais, che nel tratto finale è venuto a prendere chiaramente la meglio sul resto della compagnia, che ha provato ad organizzarsi ma ormai era troppo tardi. L'azione è stata devastante e vedete un bel primo piano, nessuno nel teleschermo, è tutta sua la gloria per Cyrus Desglais, che viene a vincere in maniera netta e limpida. Al secondo posto, attendiamolo sul palo per avere la conferma, ecco è Macht, che è stato il più attivo durante la corsa, al terzo il numero 9 di Chawardi, dicevo Macht che ha dato...
Andiamo in diretta in Longchamp per questa sesta corsa che ci interessa anche moltissimo per il fatto che a questo Prix de l'Art, prova di gruppo 2 sui 1950 metri, partecipa anche l'italiano Cima De Trionfi, il grigio con la giubba di casa Yoshida in stella Takatake in quinta posizione al momento, mentre in vantaggio si porta in giubba rossa Powell, in seconda posizione all'esterno è Distant Memories, l'ospite inglese con Jamie Spencer in stella, per linee interne Cyrus Desglais, il favorito della corsa, poi Cima De Trionf, Budai che galoppa in corda precedendo il resto del gruppo che è chiuso da De Boerberry. In vantaggio Poet, seconda Distant Memories, in terza posizione Cyrus Desglais, quindi Cima De Trionf, il cavallo allenato da Bruno Grizzetti, al suo interno Budai, poi il grigio Three Buddies con all'interno Zazu, poi gli altri a seguire chiusi da Shimran e The Boerberry, concorrenti categgiati da Poet che conduce. Seconda posizione sempre per Distant Memories che viene avvicinato da Cyrus Desglais all'interno, poi trionfa a tiro dei primi, Takataka sceglie corsia esterna seguendo Distant Memories, mentre all'interno rimangono Cyrus Zagler, lo specialista del tracciato di Longchamp, e Budai, lo scatto di Distant Memories, ma Cyrus Zagler viene in mano sul rivale, lo passa, Cima De Triomphe che c'è da traguardo lontano, Cyrus Zagler al comando, Budai che filtra in seconda posizione all'interno di Distant Memories, rincorso da lontanissimo di Shinran, Cyrus Zagler, primo traguardo in vantaggio, c'è lotta però solo per la piazza perché Cyrus Zagler vince, poi Budai, Distant Memories e Poet che rientra ai rivali, lottano per la miglior piazza. Frank Blondell in sella costagliavo di Karim Baran-Bardet che si afferma da favorito numero 3 nel trigollare, per il secondo posto c'è
18頭ゲートに収まりました。スタートしました。ペルーサ遅れました。先行争い、まず信玄でしょうか。エーシンフラッシュ、ローズキングダム、ビクトアルピサ、さあ誰も行こうとしませんが信玄がわずかにここで先頭に立ちます。覚悟を決めて信玄が行きました。2番手にはビクトアルピサ、そして10番のエーシンフラッシュ、3歳の G1 馬2頭、2番手3番手、外から50プルーフ続いていきまして、その後ローズキングダム、ブエナビスタの位置取りは、ブエナビスタは後方から5頭目の追走となりました。さあまずは4番の信玄が先頭に立って2コーナーをカーブしていきます。リードを2馬身半取りました。2番手外目50プルーフ、内は2番のビクトアルピサ続いていきました。エーシンフラッシュ4番手、5番手に中山フェスタ、内からボアライシ、ローズキングダム間から行きまして後位の追走、外からは行きましたマリヌスが続いていきました。ジョシュア・ツリー、さらにはモアーズウェルズが続いてティモス、名将ベルーが中段グループで、内はダンディーノ、そしてブエナビスタは後方5頭目、内から並んでいきましたジャガーメイル、そしてシルス・デゼーグルがちょっとかかり気味か、後方から今中段まで上がっていきます。オーケンブルースリが続いていきまして、最後方待機が7番のペルーサです。早くも審議のランプが灯っています。3コーナーカーブにこれから入っていくところです。先頭は4番の信玄です。逃げる信玄です。リードは2馬身、2番手にはビクトアルピサと、そして50プルーフ、エーシンフラッシュ、2番手3番手4番手、さあ信玄が少し2番手との差を開けていきました。その差は4馬身ぐらいに広がっていきます。5番手追走中山フェスタ、ローズキングダム続いて名将ベルーガ、マリヌス、内はボアライシ、そのグループには外から接近するのはスーッと上がっていきましたブエナビスタ、ブエナビスタ上がっていきます。今中段の後ろにつきましたブエナビスタです。さあ信玄が先頭、4コーナーから直線コースに入ります。信玄先頭です。2番手ビクトアルピサ、エーシンフラッシュ差を詰める、間からボアライシ、外から中山フェスタ、そして大外からブエナビスタが前を狙っています。残り 400m だ。さあ今度はビクトアルピサ先頭に変わるか、信玄食い下がる、そしてブエナビスタが伸びてくる、ブエナビスタ伸びてくる、ジャガーメールの追い込み体勢、さらには名将ベルが追い込んでくる。おっとローズキングでもちょっと挟まった体勢だ。残り 200m、 先頭はビクトアルピサ、ビクトアルピサ、外からブエナビスタ、ブエナビスタ、ジャガーメール追い込んでくる、オーケンブルースにも追い込んでくる。2番手は接戦になりそうだが先頭はブエナビスタだ。ブエナビスタゴールイン、完勝ブエナビスタ、またまた強さを見せました。ジャパンカップをも制したブエナビスタ完勝です。しかしジャパンカップは審議を行います。
For a little while. Well, that's just about it, I think. So stand by for the Prix d'Ispahan. Pretty fair break, although Pan River did just dwell a little bit as the stalls opened, so they settled down. And on the inside rail, Dick Turpin. Now here comes Flash Dance to set out and make the running, closely followed by Goldie Cova towards the outside. Byword, the pink cap on the outside of that one, and tracking Byword is Ransom Note. So Dick Turpin settled down to dispute third towards the inside as Flash Dance does set a pretty fair pace to Goldie Cova lobbing along behind, her head held low. I love the way she races. And then comes Dick Turpin a length back disputing third, but Ransom Note just perhaps heading Dick Turpin in third. These followed then by Shamal Gan on the inside, Byword and Raj Saman come next as they race down now towards past the halfway point. In fact, they're going down towards a point about 700 metres from home. Flash Dance a length and a half behind in second, Goldie Cova. Then comes Ransom Note, Dick Turpin on the rails. Close behind these Cirrus des Aigles Zegler is a close fifth with the striped cap. Byword, the pink cap, will be out of trouble when he's switched to challenge. They come down now to the point 550 metres or so from home. Flash Dance by 2 lengths. Then comes Goldikova in second. Ransom Note running a great race in third. Cirrus des Aigles disputes third. With being ridden along now is Dick Turpin. He's being pushed along, but it's still Flash Dance as they come down past the 400-metre mark, and still surely going a double handful. Goldikova in second. Cirrus des Aigles is one going to put down a challenge. Byword on the outside, and also Raj Saman on the outside, but they come down now with Goldikova having struck the front. Goldikova from Cirrus des Aigles only 3 parts of a length behind. They've got 200 metres to go. Goldikova answering her rider's challenge with a terrific burst of speed. Goldikova surely just gets there. Cirrus des Aigles, she doesn't do any more than she needs to, but what a super performance. William, what about that?
Oh, fabulous. It wasn't quite as easy as last year because she had to really battle at the end, but battle she did to gain her 13th Group or Grade 1 win. And it was wonderful to watch, and full credit to Cirrus des Aigles, who put down a serious challenge, though not one you ever thought was quite going to succeed, and a good run also by a stablemate of Goldikova, Raj Saman, who's probably produced, well, for sure produced a career best to finish third, fourth when...
Con Jockey Club, gruppo 3, tutte pronte partiti. Cirrus des Aigles all'interno, fa partenza ma si lascia sfilare da Poe e da Ransom Note, in terza posizione quindi il quarto Shimran che precede Lancelot, e le posizioni rimangono statiche. Sesto è City Leader, in coda Skin Game. Cirrus des Aigles sistema terzo davanti a Ransom Note che segue le mosse di Poet. Poi in quarta posizione c'è Lancelot in corda con la sella Shimran, largo City Leader, in coda Skin Game, con Sumillon insolitamente in coda, difficile vederlo se è in quella posizione. Tira via il leader davanti, vedremo poi il passaggio al chilometro. Poet in vantaggio su Ransom Note e Cirrus des Aigles, 4-3-1, tradotto in numeri come suggerisce la grafica da Roma. In quarta posizione Lancelot, il 6, primi 1000 metri che non vengono, sono passati in 1,6. Vero che il terreno è pesante ma l'andatura è comoda per una corsa sul doppio chilometro, con Poe in vantaggio su Ransom Note, Cirrus des Aigles che aspetta, Lancelot che è quarto, City Leader si affaccia all'esterno, in coda Skin Game e Shimran. Vediamo come si sviluppa la corsa ai 1500 metri, ora manca ormai 500, con Poe che allunga dalla richiesta Ransom Note. Cirrus des Aigles deve essere ancora montato, è fermo con le mani Blondel, muove appena le mani ora per liquidare la pratica Poe. Lancelot è terzo, quarto è Skin Game, sparisce Ransom Note, non sono un fattore Shimran e City Leader. Cirrus des Aigles mezzo tabellare per la seconda moneta. Poe lotta con Lancelot e Skin Games, è solo un cavallo in corsa e in pista Cirrus des Aigles che vince ancora per il secondo e terzo, da vedere tra Lancelot e Skin Game.
Classica, favorito Cirrus des Aigles mezzo sui totalizzatori sui bookies del mondo, qualcosina di meno sul top francese. È partito Cirrus des Aigles al 20%, vediamo se è salito nelle ultime contrattazioni. No, chiuso al 20%. Si porta in vantaggio per corsie interne un Ted Sprigg, l'outsider, nei confronti al largo di Cirrus des Aigles. Tra i due Ivory Land in corda, in giubba tutta rossa, galoppa Silver Pond che lascia in coda Agent Secret con in schiena Marinus. Allora, gruppo che si divide in due parti con nei 6 partenti, con un trenino interno che è aperto da Ted Spread e proseguito con Silver Pond, poi invece adesso i 4 che vanno larghi sono aperti proprio dal favorito Cirrus des Aigles che ha in schiena Ivory Land, Agent Secret ed in coda Marinus. In tale ordine i cavalli hanno completato la pietta che porta sulla retta di fronte. Tira un po' Cirrus des Aigles che a Saint-Cloud era andato davanti e invece l'ultima volta ha corso coperto, ma parlo abbastanza d'utile. La scelta adesso delle corsie con
la mossa da parte del fantino di Sirius Desegler di andare molto largo, ben oltre a questo punto il centro della pista. I due che sono rimasti all'interno sono Ted Spread e Silver Pond. Sirius Desegler galoppa quindi in vantaggio largo su Agent Secret, terza posizione è sempre largo per Ivory Land, quello con il capo bianco, il primo dalla vostra destra è Marinus. Si completa la retta di fronte con Sirius Desegler che galoppando largo adesso torna nella parte interna, è in vantaggio su Ted Spread. Silver Pond si ritrova ultimo con questa mossa anche se per corsie interne. All'inizio della piegata conclusiva conduce sempre Sirius Desegler avendo all'interno Ted Spread, l'outsider da 40 contro 1, dietro ai due sono Agent Secret con vicino Marinos. Silver Pond invece rimane sempre incollato allo steccato nelle mani di Olivier Pellier. Cavalli che sono sulla piegata finale con Sirius Desegler in vantaggio nei primi metri della retta. Silver Pond, il primo controfavorito, è montato all'interno, Agent Secret rimane in quota secondo, con montato anche Ivory Land. All'ingresso addirittura si presenta molto facile Sirius Desegler venendo a galoppare ancora largo, ancora più largo se possibile, con Sirius Desegler che su questo parziale aumenta ancora il suo vantaggio. Silver Pond trova una buona azione adesso, ma quando direi che è troppo tardi, perché questo Sirius Desegler si conferma tra i migliori anziani sulla distanza classica in Europa, venendo a dominare il Grand Prix de Deauville. È una bella dimostrazione per una formazione minore, se volete, nel circuito europeo, quindi fuori dai giri di sceicchi, principi vari. Sirius Desegler è un pedigree ordinario, un figlio di Even Top, che penso sia l'unico cavallo del gruppo 1 che ha dato. Sirius Desegler ha letteralmente dominato e fa bene ad esultare il suo interprete, perché questa è una vittoria veramente molto bella. Sirius Desegler continua a migliorare corsa dopo corsa, bravissima la sua allenatrice Corinne Baran-Barbe, i colori sono quelli di Jean-Claude Alain Dupuis, vince molto bene. Sirius Desegler è ancora bersaglio, quest'anno veramente una stagione da incorniciare, è causato tantissimo, e adesso il 5 anni.
They're ready for the Kipco Champions Stakes. They're racing, and a good even break to Casamento just dropped in behind them. So You Think began brilliantly on the outside, so too did Nathaniel. They're up vying for the lead with Ransom Note. Just in behind them, Sirius Desegler, and further back then Dubai Prince, who's trapped a little wide as they run down to Swinley Bottom. Only a short run to the first corner, and Ransom Note on the inside of Nathaniel, who strides up out wide. They're 2 lengths to So You Think, who's going to slot over into third on the rails, a beautiful position, followed by Sirius Desegler, who's on the inside of Dubai Prince, and in the centre Twice Over. A length and a half then to Snow Fairy, who's back in the field as they race out of Swinley Bottom. Shri Putra is one of the last in company there on the outside, Wigmore Hall, and they're 2 lengths to Green Destiny. Settling down, and the leader is on the inside, Ransom Note, but being pressured by Nathaniel. They're stride for stride. 2 lengths to So You Think with a box seat run in behind them. 2 lengths to Desegler. Then on the inside in about 5th position is Snow Fairy, followed by Dubai Prince. In the centre is Twice Over, followed by Shri Putra, as all the time they're climbing uphill towards the half mile, and So You Think is travelling beautifully for Ryan Moore as they race up now with less than a half mile to travel. Ransom Note, the leader from Nathaniel, and So You Think. Snow Fairy behind them, followed on the outside by Twice Over, then Sirius Desegler. Then going forward is that Dubai Prince on the outside of Shri Putra. Well back is Wigmore Hall in company there with Midday, who's giving them a long start with Casamento and Green Destiny into the home straight now in the Champion Stakes, and kicking for home now. It's Nathaniel, goes 2 lengths in front, but here's the Aussie champ on the outside. So You Think striding up from Sirius Desegler. In behind there is Snow Fairy looking for a way through. A furlong left to go in the Champion Stakes, and So You Think takes it up. Sirius Desegler is the challenger for France. It's So You Think and Sirius Desegler, and Snow Fairy in the clear. It's stride for stride. Sirius Desegler just getting on top. Sirius Desegler is going to win the Champion Stakes. Wins it for France. In second is So You Think. Third then Snow Fairy. Followed then by Shri Putra. Followed then by Ransom Note and Wigmore Hall. Casamento, one of the last Twice Over, in company with Green Destiny, and some way behind them, tailed off, is Dubai Prince.
They're ready. They're racing in the Dubai Shima Classic, and Shimran and Jackal Berry both came out very awkwardly and dropped back to the tail of the field. Bolsilvano won the start and was the early leader. Mahbuba, Treasure Beach and Beaten Up all go forward. Songcraft settles on the fence just behind the pace, and then further back came Beaten Up, followed by Treasure Beach. Cavalryman sneaking up on the rail. A length to Jackalberry, and Shimran is 2 lengths away at the tail of the field. Bolsilvano takes them past the 2,000 metres mark. First 427.2, and Bolsilvano leads by 3/4 of a length. Cirrus des Aigles moved up to be second. Songcraft a length away running third, a half to Treasure Beach. Another length to Beaten Up, who tucks in on the fence on the inside of Mahbuba. 1.5 lengths away is St Nicholas Abbey, followed by Jackalberry. Then came Cavalryman with the red cap. He's second last on the rail, and Shimran whipped them in as they travel down the back. 800 metres in 53.4. Little change in the order. Bolsilvano and Christophe Simeon make play. They lead by a half length. Cirrus des Aigles running second. Songcraft a length away third. And Treasure Beach is fourth on the outside. Another length away Beaten Up, who might be just tugging for a little more rain as they pass the 1,200 metres pole. Mahbuba the fillies a half length away on the outside. St Nicholas Abbey on the fence on the inside of Jackalberry. Then Cavalryman, and Shimran is still last with short of 1,000 metres left to travel. They left 1,200 behind in 118.6. Cirrus des Aigles now moves up on the outside to tackle Bolsilvano, and Cirrus des Aigles ran a neck in front of Bolsilvano, who's holding the fence. Treasure Beach is third. Songcraft fourth. He'll need an out. Beaten Up's off the rail now. Mahbuba's deeper out. St Nicholas Abbey sticks to the fence, then Jackalberry. Cavalryman and Shimran is last. A packed field as they come around the bend. 500 to go. Cirrus des Aigles moved up and took the lead from Bolsilvano. Treasure Beach is there to tackle on the outside. Beaten Up's a length and a half away. St Nicholas Abbey behind them. Then Songcraft, Mahbuba on the outside. Cirrus des Aigles led with 200 metres left to go. Nicholas Abbey into the clear. Comes after Cirrus des Aigles. Treasure Beach is third. Cirrus des Aigles in front. St Nicholas Abbey's going to him. The poster's looming up. Cirrus des Aigles hangs on and wins. Cirrus des Aigles has beaten Nicholas Abbey. Third's a photo, Jackalberry or Treasure Beach. Then Mahbuba, Beaten Up, Songcraft, Cavalryman, Shimran, and Bolsilvano has pulled up along.
Reliable Man to be the last one offered up in the Group 1 Prix Gannet. 143,000, give or take £1 or £2. Is on offer here, and away they go. Pretty level break, although Wigmore Hall was slightly slow out, but I suspect by design. So the first one to go on, Joffre in the blue. Cirrus des Aigles upsides, disputing the lead. Pajera only half a length third in the yellow colours. And after these comes Reliable Man, blue sleeves on the inner. They're all in a heap, and they're playing a bit of cat and mouse here. There's no great pace on. This will turn into a sprint. So Cirrus des Aigles now the definite leader from Pajera in the yellow. Joffre only half a length behind, third on the rails. Wide on the outside of those is Saga Dream, the dark blue and purple colours. Then Reliable Man with the royal blue cap, and then Wigmore Hall being held up at the rear of affairs as they come to the topmost point of the hill. They've gone about a third of the distance, perhaps not even that, as they start to swing right-handed and come downhill. Cirrus des Aigles leads now by a length and a half. Pajera is just about second, or disputing second, with Joffre on the inner. There's a gap of a length after these to Reliable Man, the noseband on the inside rail, with Saga Dream on the outside of that one, and then comes Wigmore Hall. So racing down now to a point about 800 metres, just over about half a mile from home now, and Cirrus des Aigles just being allowed by Olivier Pellier to lengthen his stride. He's gone a length and a half clear now of Joffre. Then comes Pajera, further length back in third, and then after these comes Saga Dream on the outside. Reliable Man will be looking for daylight in a minute, and Hayley Turner hasn't moved a muscle on Wigmore Hall yet, but still Cirrus des Aigles, if they give him too much rope as they come into the straight now, with just 400 metres to race from here, just over. Cirrus des Aigles, Joffre under pressure. Here comes Pajera, reliable man with the nose bend getting on terms. Wigmore Hall looking for room on the inside, but Cirrus des Aigles is not stopping for anyone. As they come down now to the last 150 metres, it's going to be Cirrus des Aigles increasing his lead from in second place, reliable man. That's certainly the best two in the race, surely on form. Cirrus des Aigles is going to run away with this one. He's well clear, 7-8 legs clear. Joffre's going to be second. In third, reliable man. They're well clear of Wigmore Hall, who's fourth. Last of all, Pajera, and last but one, Saga Dream. Well, we can't be surprised at that result. We could perhaps be surprised at the ease with which he won it.
Oh, a fantastic performance, Robin.
Of course, it was Christophe Soumillon who rode Cirrus des Aigles to win.
And they're off and racing. Mile and a half for the Kipco Champion Stakes, and Mukadram just being ridden a little more quietly, and Far it is who's moving forward with the pace-setting Hunter's Light to give Godolphin a hand in proceedings early on. Cirrus des Aigles wise to that, drops on the back of chief rival Far. In midfield, Hill Star is keen, throwing the head from side to side. So they settle down. It's Hunter's Light who's cutting out the running. Far is quite exuberant in second place. The grey is Morandi, with Parish Hall posted 3 wide as they approach the turn. Cirrus des Aigles racing on the outside of Triple Threat. Ruler of the World is being held 4 wide as they approach the turn by the keen Hill Star. Mukadram with his change of tactics is last of all, with main sequence on the inside. So out in front, it's Hunter's Light who leads the turn by a length from Far as they now begin to climb, and the pace has steadied. They're well grouped. Morandi the grey in third, with in fourth place Triple Threat on the inside of Parish Hall. Cirrus des Aigles poised in 6th place. Ruler of the World, who's had a tougher trip to this point, is in 7th. Main sequence, Mukadram asked to make a little bit of ground, relegates Hill Star to be the back marker. So they're continuing their climb uphill towards halfway. Hunter's Light by a length from Far racing in 2nd place. Morandi and Parish Hall racing 3rd and 4th ahead of Triple Threat. Cirrus des Aigles in midfield with main sequence coming next. Ruler of the World towards the outside as lots of the jockeys just look for a little bit of clear passage. They're well bunched. Mukadram and towards the outside Hill Star. Hunter's Light leads the turn in. Far still racing exuberantly outside the leader in 2nd. Parish Hall creeps closer into 3rd place. Cirrus des Aigles and Ruler of the World begin their challenges together. Also travelling well is the grey Morandi just behind the leaders. So turning in, Hunter's Light, Far just trying to stack them up before kicking for home. Cirrus des Aigles shadowing his rival into the race, tongue-lolling out Parish Hall then towards the outside. Ruler of the World, Hunter's Light's taken Far beautifully into the race. Cirrus des Aigles got a couple of legs to find, then Ruler of the World. It's Far, the long-range winner from Cirrus des Aigles, the previous Champion Stakes winner, and a Derby winner. Ruler of the World on the outside. The Champion Stakes is up for grabs. Far, Cirrus des Aigles, and Ruler of the World. Far by a neck. Cirrus des Aigles at this stage can't get by. Far all out will win the Champion Stakes. Far feeding to 2nd place. Cirrus des Aigles.
Yeah, so I'm still confident.
What does Soumillon have to do to overcome the draw?
He has to have good instinct and follow the horse, what the horse wants to do, and how the race is going on. You cannot organize a race like that.
Is he as good as he was 2 years ago?
Oh yes, sure.
How important?
And they're ready to run. Shane Ryan down at his button, signals are given, the gates are back, and they're racing in the Dubai Shima Classic. Ambivalent, a little slow to go. Empoli went back shortly after the break. Cirrus des Aigles began well from out wide, but he's planted deep as excellent result. Denim and Ruby and Festive Cheer go forward. Twilight Eclipse just behind the leading pair. Ambivalent picked himself up after the slow start, pushes through in the middle. Oh, trouble! Trouble on the turn out of the straight. Mars has got into all sorts of trouble. He's run off the track, Mars. He caused trouble back in the field. He's headed towards the outside rail. More about him later as the field in the Dubai Shima Classic goes to the back of the track, where Denim and Ruby went to the front. Festive Cheer, 3/4 of a length away, running 2nd. Twilight Eclipse a length away 3rd. Ambivalent in the centre. Excellent result on the rail as they passed the mile marker. A break of 2.5 to Cirrus des Aigles. On the outside of Gentle Donna, 3/4 of a length to Mount Athos. Another 2 lengths away, Dunaden on the inside of Empoli. Then 2 lengths to Meandre, followed by Magician, he's 3rd last. Dominant second last, and Doubleday on the outside last of all. Mars taking no part as they run down the back. First quarter, 27.3, 800 metres, 51 flat, 1200 metres, 114.7, and they're heading towards the back bend. Denim and Ruby, 3/4 of a length in front. That's the 1,000 metres pole they've passed. Festive Cheer a length away running second. Twilight Eclipse third. He's been 3 deep. Excellent result. The run of the race, 4th on the rail. A half length away, Ambivalent. Gentle Donna's travelled up behind that group, followed by Cirrus des Aigles. Dunedin on the fence, Mount Athos wide, Meandre in the centre, a length away Empoli, then came Magician, followed by Dominant, and Doubleday looks as though he's been eased out of the race as they're on the turn with 500 metres left to run, flattening for the run to the judge. Denim and Ruby taken on by Ambivalent in the centre. Cirrus des Aigles looms up on the outside. Gentle Donna trying to get into the clear. She had to switch around heels. Then Mount Athos. Dominant coming down the outside. Cirrus des Aigles taken on by Gentle Donna. The Japan Cup winner surges to the lead, draws clear, and Gentle Donna wins the Dubai Shima Classic from Cirrus des Aigles and Ambivalent. Then Empoli, Magician, Meandre, Dominant out wide, Mount Athos in the centre, followed by Dunedin, Twilight Eclipse. Excellent result. Denim and Ruby. Doubleday has just cantered past the winning post, and Mars, unfortunately, is being attended to by vets on the turn into the back straight. And here's another one, Festive Cheer, pulling up very quickly a long way back as well.
Well, an incident.
All 8 steps. Often racing the European Group 1 season gets underway with Striganet over 2,100 metres. And going straight to the front is Belle de Crécy for Thierry Charlet. Joshua Tree goes into second position, then racing third, the striped cap of Cirrus des Aigles, who's not pulling too hard for Christophe Soumillon. And on the outside, North King in fourth position. Red jacket towards the inside of Baltic Baroness. Racing next to that one is Triple Threat. Then further behind these, Smoking Sun, and finally, at the back of the field is Tave with the maroon cap. Well, the leader, Belle de Crécy, has gone on pretty hard, leads by about 5 lengths for Thierry Charlet. Second position, Joshua Tree and Thierry Tulliers. 2 lengths behind that one, in fact more than 2 lengths, 4 lengths behind that one in third position, races Cirrus des Aigles. Baltic Baroness follows in fourth position for Pierre Charles Boudot. Stablemate of that one, Triple Threat, races fifth. Fave makes a bit of ground round the outside, now into sixth position with Smoking Sun, and then North King relegated to last. Belle de Crécy leading them towards the side of the track, still showing by about 5 lengths to Joshua Tree in second position. Cirrus des Aigles third. Fave now into fourth position, just in front of Baltic Baroness. Triple Threat follows those, then Smoking Sun and North King the order behind. As they come down the full straight, 2 of them steering a fairly wide course. Belle de Crécy, who's been tracked by Joshua Tree. Cirrus des Aigles creeping up closer to those. Fave now is on the march, just tucked in behind Cirrus des Aigles as they turn back into the straight. North King tries to make ground further behind. Joshua Tree picks it up in the centre. Cirrus des Aigles towards the inside, still being tracked by Trave. North King and Smoking Sun under pressure behind those, and now Trave comes through and picks up the lead. Cirrus des Aigles tries to fight back on the inside. Smoking Sun is running on behind these. It's Trave on the near side, but Cirrus des Aigles fighting back on the far side. They're well clear of the others. Trave on the near side. Cirrus des Aigles far side. It's a massive war. Frankie Dettori, and Trave is being taken on by Cirrus des Aigles. Hits their head to the line. Trave and Cirrus des Aigles. Cirrus des Aigles got through. Lowered the colours of Trave. Her first defeat in second position. They were about 6 lengths clear of the remainder, who were led home by North King. Well, Cirrus des Aigles has landed the Group 1 Prix de Gagné for Christophe Soumillon after an epic battle up the home straight.
Yeah, what a finish. Cirrus des Aigles comes out in front from Trev. Frankie Dettori, the first 2 pulled well clear. North King will have another look back at that in due course, but she suffered her first ever defeat. So let's go back to domestic action, back to Kempton for a classified 6. They're loading up High Master 6-4, 2-1 good value. It's 6-1 and bigger than the rest.
Yeah, well, there'll be more reflections, and perhaps we'll get Steve's thoughts on Trev's.
Parti pour le prix d'Ispahan. Cyrus Desaigles a pris le meilleur départ et s'installe tout de suite en tête devant Olympique Glory qui est dans son dos, alors qu'Anodin numéro 4 est en 3e position à l'extérieur de Fred Goldnikova, accompagné à son extérieur par le numéro 3 Neatico, c'est la casaque blanc et rouge. On retrouve également Poliana qui vient pour l'instant en avant-dernière position, galopant encore avec le numéro 6 Matorio qui est pour l'instant en dernière position d'une course qui est toujours emmenée par le champion Cyrus Desaigles qui a le meilleur. Anodin venant maintenant à demi-longueur à son extérieur avec Olympique Glory et Franck Lettori qui est dans le dos maintenant de Cyrus. En 4e position à l'extérieur, le numéro 3 c'est Neatico, à la corde toujours le 5 Poliana et en dernière position le numéro 6 Matorio. La descente de la grande piste avec Cyrus Desaigles qui a l'avantage désormais devant Anodin qui est dans son dos, alors qu'Olympique Glory se retrouve en 3e position à la corde. Le 3 Neatico est en 4e position devant le 5 Poliana avec le numéro 6 Matorio qui est toujours en dernière position. Cyrus Desaigles a l'avantage, une longueur d'avance maintenant devant Anodin qui est toujours 2e à la corde, toujours Olympique Glory Casacrise. En 4e position le 3 c'est Neatico, en 5e position à la corde Poliana qui vient avec une autre pouliche, le numéro 6 Matorio qui avec Fabrice Véron est en dernière position. Cyrus Desaigles a l'avantage avec Anodin toujours dans son dos, Olivier Pellier à la corde, Franck Lettori et Olympique Glory, le gagnant des Looking Stakes. En 4e position dehors le 3 Neatico avec à la corde encore le numéro 5 Poliana et Matorio qui est toujours en dernière position. Entrée de la dernière ligne droite, Cyrus Desaigles qui a l'avantage, Anodin toujours dans son sillage avec Olympique Glory qui est en 3e position, venant encore avec Poliana qui tente de refaire du terrain. Cyrus Desaigles qui a l'avantage, Anodin qui attend de l'attaquer avec à la corde Olympique Glory, avec ensuite Poliana qui est en 4e position, Matorio également qui tente de se rapprocher. Cyrus Desaigles qui a l'avantage devant Olympique Glory avec Anodin maintenant qui est en 3e position et Poliana qui est 4e. Cyrus Desaigles qui repart de nouvelle encore. Cyrus Desaigles qui s'impose dans le 5e groupe 1 de sa carrière. 2e place pour Anodin, la 3e pour Poliana, la 4e pour Olympique Glory.
Ouais, du beau travail de la part de Christophe qui n'a jamais collé le rail, qui voulait absolument qu'Anodin reste derrière lui et ne pas l'avoir à 3/4 de longueur tout le parcours dans son porte-bagages. Il s'est décalé du rail pour que Olivier puisse avoir le bon parcours derrière lui et qu'il n'ait pas besoin, Olivier, de déboîter et de faire avancer Cyrus. Et on a la confirmation qu'Olympique Glory...
That is it, they're all in. And they're off and racing. For the Investec Coronation Cup, running commemoration of St Nicholas Abbey, Empoli just dipped as the stalls open, but Ambivalent is adopting a customary front-running tactics and leads early on as they climb the hill. Empoli, having missed the start, is moving up under Ardre de Vries to come through and sit just a half a length behind Ambivalent early on as they climb the hill. Joshua Tree races in 3rd place, a length to Cyrus Desaigles, who currently is travelling in 4th. Flincher's pink cap just ahead of Talent, and early on Beacon Lady is at the back of the 7-strong field. They've climbed through the first 2.5 furlongs. Ambivalent on the front end for Andrea Azzani. Empoli now just behind the leader, getting some cover in the blue sleeves with Joshua Tree coming to share 2nd place. Cyrus Desaigles just a couple of lengths away in 4th, would be within about 4 or 5 lengths of the lead. Then a gap of 2 to 3 lengths to Flincher as they just begin to stretch out a little bit. Talent is in 6th place, red cap, would be 8 lengths off the lead passing the mile, and a further 3 to 4 then to Beacon Lady, who is at the back of the pack. So they're continuing to climb uphill, entering the last 7 furlongs. Ambivalent leading from Joshua Tree. Empoli sits 3rd with Cyrus Desaigles racing in 4th place. Flincher races in 5th, just ahead of Talent, and then Beacon Lady as they now begin the descent, turning left-handed, heading inside the final 3/4 of a mile and beginning the descent down towards Tattenham Corner. Ambivalent leads the Investec Coronation Cup with Joshua Tree sitting in 2nd place. Empoli in 3rd, just a length or so behind the leader with Cyrus Desaigles closing up. Flincher in 5th place, behind these Talent yet to be asked for any sort of effort. Still this gap to the outside of Beacon Lady as they make their way down towards Tattenham Corner. Ambivalent just a little awkward down the hill, having to be held together by Andrea Azzani, but she still corners in front. From Joshua Tree in 2nd, Empoli 3rd, Cyrus Desaigles, Flincher and Talent all poised, waiting to deliver their challenges as Ambivalent is asked to stretch on. Joshua Tree, Empoli, Cyrus Desaigles just beginning to angle out. Flincher's just behind that. Talent with the red cap as they make their way down inside the final three. Out in front, Ambivalent from Joshua Tree. Cirrus Desaigle coming there strongly now under Christophe Soumillon. Flincher for Andre Fabre and Maxime Guillon are also closing off strongly. Ambivalent with Cirrus Desaigle nosing to the front. Flincher continues to stay on, but it's Cirrus Desaigle who leads, edging back in towards the rail from Flincher as they enter the final furlong. Cirrus Desaigle by over a length. Flincher in second place, and it is Cirrus Desaigle, this wonderful globetrotter, who will win his 6th Group 1 in the hands of Christophe Soumillon and the apple of the eye of Colin Baron-Barbe. A 1-2 for France as Flincher chases the winner home. In third was Ambivalent, Empoli was fourth, Talent fifth, and Beacon Lady runs on to be sixth.
Et nous voici de retour à Longchamp pour la 5e course du programme. Le premier groupe 1 de l'année à Longchamp, le prix Gannet, course réservée à des éléments de 4 ans et plus, 2100 mètres à couvrir. Ils seront 7 à en découdre. C'est Al-Kazim qui a la faveur de vos suffrages à 2,40 €. Il vient de remporter le prix d'Harcourt. On lui oppose le champion Cyrus Desaigles qui va effectuer sa rentrée. Il est chez lui à Longchamp. Il va apprécier le terrain. Il est proposé à 3,80 €. Il avait remporté dans un style exceptionnel l'an dernier cette épreuve après une lutte vraiment d'anthologie face à la championne Trèves. Le départ qui vient d'être donné, on est parti à l'instant pour ce prix Gannet. Il y aura donc 2100 mètres à couvrir avec un bon départ à mettre d'emblée à l'actif d'Al-Kazim, le favori. Cyrus qui arrive, Cyrus Desaigles le numéro 2, on est la 3e avec Ouillard le numéro 7 qui effectue sa rentrée. Ouillard, on ne l'a plus revu depuis son succès dans le prix de l'Opéra le 5 octobre dernier. On vient 4e avec Fractional, le numéro 3 qui était très joué en dernier lieu dans le prix d'Harcourt et qui est un petit peu plus délaissé aujourd'hui. À l'arrière, on note ensuite la présence notamment de Prince Gibraltar, le numéro 4, avec Poliana également, le numéro 6 qui est côté corde, et c'est Fate, le numéro 5, l'entraînement d'Alain de Royer-Dupré qui ferme la marche pour le moment. Avec Cyrus Desaigles, le favori, quasiment le numéro 2 qui a pris seul les choses en main. Al-Kazim qui est 2e, 3e place pour Fractional avec côté corde Ouillard le numéro 7. Poliana qui vient ensuite en pénultième devant Prince Gibraltar qui effectue aujourd'hui sa rentrée. Fate le numéro 5 qui ferme toujours la marche. Fate qui a très bien terminé dans le prix d'Harcourt pour venir prendre la 3e place alors qu'elle effectue aujourd'hui ce jour-là sa rentrée. Elle va tenter de mieux faire aujourd'hui avec Cyrus devant qui repart pendant ce temps-là. Al-Kazim qui est toujours 2e côté corde. Sur un 3e rang, Ouillard avec à son extérieur Fractional le numéro 3. On a ensuite Poliana avec Prince Gibraltar et Fate qui ferme toujours la marche. Choses sérieuses qui vont bientôt débuter avec le champion Cyrus Desaigles qui a toujours le meilleur, qui galope librement pour sa course de rentrée. Al-Kazim qui est 2e et qui semble encore avoir des ressources. Ouillard qui patiente pour le moment avec Fractional à sa hauteur. On attend toujours avec Poliana, Prince Gibraltar qui se décale maintenant et Fate qui ferme toujours la marche avec Cyrus Desaigles qui va tenter de repartir maintenant. Al-Kazim qui tente de l'attaquer mais en vain pour le moment avec Ouillard qui est 3e. Poliana qui regagne du terrain. On est plus loin avec Fate, Fractional ou encore avec Prince Gibraltar avec Cyrus Desaigles qui a toujours le meilleur. Al-Kazim, ça y est, qui tente de revenir maintenant. Al-Kazim et Cyrus Desaigles qui vont lutter. Cyrus Desaigles qui aime la bagarre et qui repart. Al-Kazim qui tente de s'accrocher, mais Cyrus Desaigles repart. Il est chez lui à Longchamp. 3e prix Gannet pour Cyrus Desaigles. Al-Kazim sera 2e. La 3e place plus loin, certainement pour Fate qui est bien revenu, à moins que ce soit Poliana, une casaque bleue. On va revoir tout ça. En tout cas, c'est Cyrus Desaigles qui s'impose. C'est Fate, visiblement, qui est 3e, la 4e place ensuite pour Ouillard. Mais ça s'est joué à distance des 2 premiers. Al-Kazim qui avait pour lui d'avoir déjà couru cette année en remportant d'ailleurs le prix d'Harcourt, mais ça n'a pas été suffisant pour venir à bout de Cyrus Desaigles. 2 à 5 et 7 pour l'arrivée provisoire de cette épreuve. 2 à 5 et 7. C'est fait donc pour Cyrus Desaigles qui s'impose. On va faire de suite un point sur les codes finales avec des concurrents bien évidemment en vue à l'arrivée de l'épreuve. Cyrus qui était proposé à 4,10 €, Al-Kazim à 2,30 €, Fate à 7 €.